Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Minnick here, and I've got a special bottle of Peerless to review. This is from this right here it's a sample bottle. This is from the Frazier Museum's Bourbon Limited Club. This is a new club that is out. I have a link in the description that explains a little bit more about what it is, but essentially, it's a club that doesn't cost anything. You're just like on like a list to be a part of, and I think you have to give your credit card information. And every time they have a new release, your credit card gets charged, and the bourbon is sent to you. There's some caveats to it. You have to be in Kentucky. It is pretty limited, but from sitting down with the people who are putting this together, they're basically doing batches of about 20 barrels. So while it's limited, 20 barrels is probably going to yield about, anywhere from 4,500 to 5,000 bottles. So I would expect that while this is limited, this isn't going to be like a single barrel limited. This is going to be more available than a private barrel selection club. That being said, it is only in Kentucky, and talking with the folks from the Frazier, this is because of the legalities of it. And I know everybody gets frustrated. Well, I can't get it. Well, I can't get it because of this. All I got to say about that is write your congressman, write your state representative. If you are just getting into the bourbon game, I implore you not to take it out on the distillers, the retailers, the people who are trying to ship to you. If somebody has an online store and they ship to the state of Michigan, the attorney general from Michigan will find that person and fine them. I mean, there are actual people getting sued because they ship bourbon to someone. So this is not something that people are just doing because they want to be fussy about it. They're following the laws of wherever they are. So this new club is with the Frazier. The Frazier is the starting point of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. They have all these exhibits about Kentucky bourbon in there. It's an incredible setup, and they've got all these old bottles in there. And I've been a big fan of the Frazier back to when they had the Tudor Arms Museum exhibit. Like they used to be a gun exhibit. Like I love old antique guns, and they used to have all these old swords. They've got Abraham Lincoln's guns in there. They have Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. So they have all these really cool stories connected to old arms. Of course, being an old military guy, I get into that sort of thing. But yeah, so check them out if you get a chance. But you do have to be the person supplying the information does have to have a Kentucky address. So if you are someone that you're in a state that doesn't have it, make a buddy here in Kentucky and maybe share a bottle or something. So this is the sample bottle that I got. It's called Bourbon Limited. It's got a fancy looking B there. A little bit about this composite. This is from barrels from Peerless, which Kentucky Peerless is actually right down the road from the Frazier. These barrels are from 2015, 2016, and 2017. 20 barrels in total. And it looks like future bottlings include a Blue Run, Foregate, Wilderness Trail, Bower Hill, and J. Mattingly. So they've got this club rearing and ready to go. So here I am tasting this for the first time. Oh, got a crack in my glass here. You know what? I don't feel like cutting myself today, so I'm gonna go get a new glass here. I'll show it to you so you can see that. See that little crack? See that crack right there? Look at that. I don't want to cut myself. You don't want. I mean, I got a little bump here and a bump there. This is from wrestling with my kids. My 8-year-old. Good Lord, he gets me in a headlock, and I swear I got him up against a corner or something. I'm always bumping my head, but. You all know how it is. If you have little boys, you're always wrestling all the time. Sometimes you win, but sometimes they get the better of you. Anyway, I don't want to cut myself, so I'm going to go get a new glass. Hold on. All right, I am back. New glass here. No cuts, no slashes. Smells okay. Okay, yeah. So Peerless, Peerless is a pretty popular distillery here in Kentucky. They're in that craft lane. They're considered a craft distiller, but they're growing, and they do have a pretty sizable fan base across the country. And they have a particular nose to them that I always get like an oily, kind of an oil nose, like maybe like a touch of molasses. Not getting that here. In fact, I'm getting fresh baked cornbread right out of the oven in a cast iron skillet. A fresh bag of popcorn. So a lot of grain oriented notes that are just kind of like moving to that other side of getting out of like raw grain into more like the sweeter side of the grains. Now, I've always thought that Peerless makes some of the best rye in the country, and I remember when I was at Whiskey Advocate, they won. I think they won our best craft whiskey, but they were ranked, I want to say, 15th in the world overall in our entire tasting. They were ranked very high. And I think they were their highest ranked or second or third highest ranked rye. And I remember telling them, I was like, look, you all should just make rye. And I'm glad they didn't listen to me because their bourbon has proven to be pretty good. Okay. What's the proof on this? I don't have a proof on this bottle. Let's see if it's in the press release. I am not seeing it in the press release. Oh well. High proof, and it has a banana note to it. So it has like it's very fruity. It has some peaches, has some banana, has some caramel, has a little salt and pepper. This pepper note kind of comes on a little heavier every time I taste this. Like, I can feel it on the tongue. It's moving back. It kind of really resonates in that back of the tongue where I get my pepper spices, and it's just powerful. Yeah, so I would say the leading note here, not at first, but gradually and then completely overtaking, is like a black pepper, like a traditional black pepper, that you would have at your table. And then these fruit notes, peach and banana. And I'm going to try and focus on the finish a little bit here. It's a really nice finish, and that spice just kind of continues all the way down. It's, some folks would call that the Kentucky hug. I just like to call it for what it is. Like, I can feel the whiskey on the way down my throat into my belly, and you have taste receptors, all throughout your tract. So this is really lighting up a lot of different parts of my tongue, and it's really vibrant. It's really popping in like very fruity, very spicy. A couple notes that you are not getting here, which for the money you would like to maybe see. And that's that caramelly, vanilla kind of note. I mean, they're there, but they are so overpowered by the black pepper, by the fruit. So if you like fruit and you like black pepper, I think that this is for you. Like, this is going to be a great whiskey for your palate. But if you are looking for more, dare I say, William LaRue Weller-esque or even a I would, a good comparative for this right here is Rare Breed. I would say, like, if I were tasting this blind, I would say it was tracing and tracking on my palate, much like Rare Breed. So it's very similar to that. Very, very spicy, very fruity, and the caramel and vanilla are just undertones. They're not the leading act of the story. Well, I keep going back to it, so it must not be too bad. But I definitely enjoy this. I think this is a home run out of the gate for the start of this club. I've got more information about the club in the description section, but once again, you do have to be in Kentucky for this to work. Yeah, pretty tasty. And remember, this is not the Frazier is a nonprofit museum, and just great people running it. Really, really great museum. You should go check it out. And I will say that I do miss the old style. I love the bourbon, don't get me wrong, but I love going in and looking at the Battle of Hastings, like all the gear left over from the Battle of Hastings. That was so cool. But anyway, that's going to do it for this little review here. If you'd like to see more reviews, click that subscribe button. Hit a like button if you like this one too. And if you're in a club, or if you thought about joining a club, put it in the comments section. I know there's a lot of people out there who are part of clubs, and you can probably get some information on how to join theirs, or how to get in a group in your area to taste some bourbon with a friend. That's going to do it, folks. Be safe out there. Remember, no licking handrails or trash cans. And vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers, everybody. Go Pokes!